And it's Monday, and today is the ETBU Coaches Show. You know what that means. Mark T. Robinson, head coach Natalie, Bach-Prather, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. Coach, you're going to interview me today. See how that goes.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding, folks. It's April Fool's Day, of course, the first day of April, so had to throw that in there in the spirit of things, but you had a busy weekend.
Yeah.
Competing in the Texas State Relays. And we were talking just before, over 1,000 schools between high school and college competition, lots of D1 competition. Before we really get into, what your runners did, how your team did overall, can you just talk about the magnitude of that meet just for this weekend? I wish I was there.
Oh, man. I mean, it's an amazing experience. I mean, you're going down there and, like you said, there's over 1,000 students or 1,000 schools that are represented, and it's a culture. I mean, the Texas Relays, it's its own entity. I mean, just for an example, our group was sitting in the bleachers, and behind us were probably 15, 20 different people, and they said that they all ran in college, and they have not missed a Texas Relays in over 25 years.
Wow.
They sit in the same spot, and they stay for all 4 or 5 days. It's amazing. Of course, it was hilarious, They were all commenting on like every 100 and every 50. They had it down. They were there. They had their coolers. They had their snacks. It was hilarious. But that's the energy that the Texas Relays bring. We're in heats with insane teams. LSU and teams from all over the country. And so it's I think sometimes you can get a little shell shocked. But I was really proud of my team this year because they knew how big of a deal it was, and this was the first time we've had our relays there. We always get people in the open 100, but first time that we had our men and women's 4x1 and 4x4 there, but they were focused this weekend. Like, they took that excitement, but they really dialed in and focused on what they needed to accomplish while we were there.
And that is absolutely awesome, because I was just getting ready to ask you, how they handled it and how they were able to perform with all those schools there. And speaking of performance, your women's 4x100 relay team seems to be, every time they take the track, they break their own records.
They have been doing a great job. We have a very, relay team is all about that team chemistry and getting those right relay members where we need to be. And I couldn't say more about the girls that are on that 4x1. I mean, it's truly incredible to watch. Of course, we have Erin Honeywood. She's a senior. She's been running that relay all 4 years. So to be able to have 3 girls that are able to kind of make this chemistry work has been awesome. And then, of course, Tia Steenbaker, and then freshman Randa Sloan, and Trinity Wilson. I mean, it seems to be the perfect combination. And they're excited. Like, those 4 girls are so competitive. And we got to that team. We've got 2 freshmen, so I was a little bit worried of how the energy would be when we got to a meet like that. I didn't need to worry about it. They were so focused, so dialed in. I don't even know if they even realized what all was going around them, because we were chasing those times. We're chasing those national times, and they know what it needs to take. And as soon as they come off, they go, "Coach, what time did we get? Did we beat our last time?" And, at this point, the improvements are so incremental, but they're so, important. Like, they make such a huge difference. So I was proud, both the men and the women. They did what they needed to do. We went there to find some speed. We went there to be pushed out of our comfort zone and work on getting those times down. And it sure did work.
And speaking of finding speed, you actually, looking at where the men place, where the women place, you actually ended up taking out a few D1 schools like Nebraska, just to name a few. And I just thought it was just very, very impressive. I'm like, Coach Prather's got to be very pleased with where her team is.
So proud. But once again, it comes down to those athletes and their mindset. And we kind of have the perfect formula at this moment. So
absolutely. And now you're heading into SFA this weekend. And so after being in the Texas Relays and then to coming back and competing against schools that are more in our conference now, more at the D3 level and things like that, how much easier, or how much better will that make your team this weekend?
It will still be hard. I think coming off of what we did this past weekend is giving them the energy. This is kind of our last really hard week before we start preparing for conference. And SFA is not a meet to just kind of disregard, because it's some legit competition. I mean, it's always been really fast in the sprinters and the relays, but I'm excited because they know how to carry themselves. They know how to perform now at that bigger level and with that bigger competition. So I think it's going to just continue to draw out the best of them.
Absolutely, and we will definitely keep you guys up to date and continue to follow you guys. Hopefully I get to go on that one, so I should be able to.
Awesome.
We'll see. We will definitely see, and we will also see you guys again on this YouTube channel. You can follow all things ETBU Sports at goetbtigers.com, or follow us on social media at GoETBTigers. Mark T. Robinson, head coach, Natalie Bach-Prather. We'll see you guys again next time.